afternoon, my lovelies, and welcome to my kitchen, the Queen's Curry Kitchen. You can see I'm totally in worker mode. And today I am going to bring you a recipe that's very dear to my heart. And the funny thing is, it was not something that I grew up on because it was not made in my home. But it's one of the cuisines that I came to love. So as you know, I grew up in the north of India, in New Delhi. So we pretty much ate a lot of Punjabi food, a lot of Bengali food, because my mother was is Bengali. So we were eating foods from mostly the north and the eastern part of India. But this cuisine is really, really dear to my heart, and it's all the way from the south of India. So the place where we have states like Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, those are all towards the southern part of India. And for me particularly, Tamil Nadu was a state where I got to know more about the cuisine much later in life, when I traveled as a fashion designer into the little t-shirt factories and started to explore the local cuisine that was made for people that worked in the factories. But way before that, as children, we would go to this little South Indian shack that we had. It was called, gosh, Lakshmi Vilas, right? And this was right smack in the middle of a very posh South Delhi location, and they would make the best dosas, which are crepes made with lentils and rice, and they would make sambar, which is like a lentil that's made with lots of vegetables. I've done several live videos on that if you have caught those sometime in the past. So they used to also make this breakfast dish called Upma, and basically I was fascinated by it because I never had a sweet tooth. So this is cream of wheat, which is also called sooji. If you go to any Indian store, you'll see bags of it that say S-O-O-J-I. That's what it's spelled like. I live in New York, so that's what it's called in our Indian grocery stores. It's called sooji. It's nothing but farina or cream of wheat, but it's not flavored, right? So it does come from wheat. You'll also find it in some Middle Eastern stores. So if you live near like an Iranian or Persian grocery store or a Middle Eastern grocery store, you'll see semolina. So I actually fell in love with this savory dish called Upma because it's just nice and savory, it's creamy, and it's a great thing to wake up to in the morning. And of course, because of the addition of curry leaves and ginger, when you wake up to something like that, that's, you know, the whole aroma of it in your home, you just can't wait to brush your teeth and jump right into whatever is on for breakfast, okay? So before we jump into the recipe, I'm just going to say a quick hello to Nana Vij. Hi, Nana. Fancy seeing you here. It's been a while. Michelle Lobo is watching. Hi, Michelle. Sherry Gurki, I hope I pronounce your last name correctly. If not, please forgive me. Sherry is my daughter's name, so yay, Sherry's in the house. Sherry has left my nest, but you know, one Sherry is in my kitchen right now. Okay, so we are going to jump right into the recipe, and I'm going to bring you right on top of my stove so you can see what is going on. It's a nice sunny day here in New York. The first thing that we are going to start out with, I'm just going to familiarize you with something which you may not know we have to use for this recipe. And these are these two kinds of lentils. Of course, they're sold separately, but I've just made a medley of it and kept it in a box. So one is this little white lentil, and it's called urad ki dal. It's called matpi beans. Hi Aditi, yes, it's my favorite too. Remember the Upma mix that you got and you loved it? So that's what I'm making right now. And then this is the Bengal gram, or the chana dal, C-H-A-N-A-D-A-L. If you'd like to know any of the Indian names that you want to catch on to so that you can do your own shopping, definitely leave it in the comments below. Even if I don't look at it now, I'm definitely going to jump in the comments later on after the live video, and I will take a look at it, so I'll be able to answer all your questions. If you have any Upma questions, guys, keep them ready. Okay, so we're going to get started. The first thing that's going to go in is mustard seeds. Quintessential, absolute must in the South Indian toolbox. So my favorite cuisine is Tamil Brahmin cuisine that's made in Tamil homes. And that's something that I absolutely love. We also had some Tamil neighbors growing up, and they really kept us well fed. There was always a food exchange. So their children would love the rajma and the red kidney beans curry that my mom used to make, and we would absolutely love the koot and poriyal. We used to love all of that. Big hello to Nandini Topadurti. Hello, Nandini. I'm sorry if I didn't get your last name right, but thank you for stopping by. We appreciate you. Now, whenever you're cooking with mustard seeds, you have to give it some time to crackle and pop. Otherwise, it tends to have quite a bitter bite, and that's not what we're going for, okay? Along with this, we're going to add some cumin seeds, which is also jeera. There you go. This is what they look like. If you're a fan of Mexican food, you have tasted cumin seeds. I'm going to say a big hello to Amisha Mehta and also to Gina Moriarty. If you have any friends who can benefit from this, definitely start a watch party or share this page. Next thing going in are curry leaves. These guys tend to jump around a lot, so if you're afraid, wear your glasses or then put a cover on your pan. You see how they dance around? These dang monkeys. Yeah, they do that all the time. So the reason why I rip my leaves instead of just putting them whole is that when you rip them, they release a lot of their aromas and infuse your oil. Ideally, make your upma either in ghee or then in coconut oil. It really, really takes it up a notch, okay? The next thing that goes in are a handful of the 2 lentil blends. These have been washed and dried. So that can take a minute. Just don't put any wet lentils in there, right? So wash them and then spread them on a tea towel to dry off and just at room temperature. Okay, so we're going to give this a quick saute. I also have some peanuts that I've roasted in a little bit of oil, and this is what they look like. Crunchy and nice. So these are raw peanuts that I just tossed with a little bit of oil. Okay, I think I have like Semolina under my feet, so it's granular. All right, so we are going to gently roast these lentils till you will smell the nutty aroma coming out of it. That's when you know you're ready to add on the next step. All right. If you want to let me know where you're tuning in from, it'll really help because I'll know where all the flavor lovers of this world are hiding. What brings you to this page? Does it entertain you? Do you really practice any of the recipes that you see here? It's just fun to watch. Let me know. I'd love to hear where everybody's tuning in from. That is just so much fun. Okay, so this is going to, and I try to do this cooking in real time so that you can actually see realistically how long something takes to cook instead of doing like a 2-minute video. Of course, I do have a YouTube channel, but even within that, it's real-time cooking. So all of these videos that you see on the live are actually uploaded to the YouTube channel. The YouTube channel is also Queen's Curry Kitchen. Ain't not a no-brainer right there. Okay, the next thing that I'm going to put in, and you can see I can get that nutty aroma. My curry leaves are well fried by now. And the lentils are beginning to change color. So you'll see that they become a little pinkish color, like almost not yet quite brown. But the white mat pea beans are not white anymore. They turn a little pinkish. And my flame is all the way low. Okay. The next thing that goes in is grated ginger. It really has a great flavor in your upma. And also remember that the cream of wheat, the semolina, has to boil in hot water. So this really gives it that beautiful flavor. It's got that zing, and ginger is really great to start your day with. So this gives it that nice zingy base without actually overpowering the dish. So give it a quick stir. I've used organic ginger, so I haven't taken the skin off. But if you're using regular ginger, then definitely peel the skin. For organic ginger, wash it and scrub it really well so that you're able to make the most of it. There's a lot of flavor under the skin, right under the skin, right? Okay, so the ginger will saute for a couple of seconds. I'm also going to add some julienne ginger. They both have their own part. And remember, the reason why we add things in layers in an Indian dish is that's the reason when you bite into something that's Indian, any Indian cuisine from any region, when you bite into it, you experience layers of flavor because when it was created, layers were added. It's almost like dressing in layers, right? So Bhuma Raghavan is watching. Hello, Bhuma. I am making some upma for you. I hope you can bring the coffee or the chai, whatever you have going on at home, and we can enjoy this together. That would be fun, right? So I will be starting in-person classes very soon. So if you're in New York and you want to take a class in person, stay tuned because that's going to happen. I'm going to go back to taking classes from this kitchen very, very soon. And if you live outside of New York, if you want to do a Zoom class, all the information is on the website, queenscurrykitchen.com/classes. Check out whatever classes you have that you can take based on your skill level, whether you're a beginner, an intermediate, or an advanced level chef in your kitchen, DIY. I just do easy stuff. I don't make you buy 50,000 ingredients, so that's such a waste of time and money, and nobody got time for that. Definitely share this video with your friends if you feel like it's something that you would like to try. If you'd like to make this for somebody, who is it that you would like to make this for? Okay, so now the idea of these onions is not to caramelize them. We're not making a curry. We are just quickly doing a stir fry, tossing them around so that they'll be translucent but not brown. So we are not trying to brown the onions. I hope this is a good enough view. Hello Martin, how are you doing today? Welcome to the Queen's Curry Kitchen. We are making savory cream of wheat, South Indian style. We started out with popping some mustard and cumin seeds into hot oil. Then we added our curry leaves, grated ginger, and 2 different kinds of lentils and gave it a quick saute. Then we added some onions. Now I'm going to go ahead and add this cream of wheat, and I'm going to slightly roast it. Okay, so this tends to have like almost like a, I don't know how to describe it, but it has a very, not a grainy smell, but almost like a closed cupboard kind of a smell. I don't know if I can describe, I don't even know if that's a good analogy. But it has a very raw kind of a smell, right? So whenever you make anything with cream of wheat, if you just slightly roast it, it's going to taste bomb. Same thing with oats. Like if you're doing oatmeal or whatever, just roast it slightly, dry roast it. It's really going to take your flavor off the charts. Okay, so I'm going to hold this thing because it's just super hot. And you can see it's almost a dry roast. Now I do sell premixes of Upma, so everything up until this stage is done. All you do is empty the packet, add the water, and your Upma is good to go. So if you're feeling really lazy but you still want to eat this stuff, you know, just send me a DM, send me a PM, and I'll be able to custom make the package for you. Okay, so we're going to roast it. Now mind you, we are not trying to brown this. This should not brown. We are just trying to roast it so that it's gonna take care of any dampness that may be there in the semolina. Sometimes grains have a dampness to them, and they have a raw kind of a smell. So this is really just that, what we're doing right now, just to take away that raw smell. But the color of this should not, repeat, should not change. Okay, so while all that is happening, I'm also going to go ahead and add some Asafoetida or hing, which is my absolute favorite thing in this whole world. I feel like this is such an uplifting thing. And it's also great for digestion, so it really controls flatulence. It's great for your health, but it also has a great flavor profile. Especially even if you want to skip the onions and not put the onions, you can still make it without the onions and just add the Asafoetida and it'll still taste pretty bomb. Okay, so my semolina is roasted. I don't want it to be brown. Okay, so in goes my vegetables. I am using a blend of frozen vegetables. Hello Adam, how are you today? We are making this plant-based breakfast, which is a savory cream of wheat. So I've put in some beans, some corn. These are some red and yellow peppers. I'm gonna save a handful of them for garnish. Of course, cilantro, no such thing as too much of it. And I don't add cold water. I actually add hot water to my upma, okay? I do have to keep a lid handy because sometimes it really will splash and splutter. The other thing that I also am going to put in is some cabbage. So fresh cabbage, just diced. Don't make them very long cuts, just short but diced well. And give it a good toss. We're not trying to fry the vegetables. Because remember, our goal is not to eat oil. Our goal is to eat vegetables and fibers and fruits and not so much oil in our food. So whatever we can do to make that happen, that's what we gotta do, right? Okie doke. So that's that. This is ready. I'm gonna turn down the flame and I have boiled some water on my electric kettle, so I'm gonna go grab that. Sandhya Sridhar, hello, hello. Tim, welcome to Queen's Curry Kitchen. Tim is everywhere. Tim is like the buddy that I never had. But now I do. Okay, so this is hot boiling water and I'll tell you the proportion of it in just a second. Whenever you make Indian food, always add hot water to your curries, hot water to your whatever it is that you're making. Never add cold water to anything that's already on the stove top, because it immediately drops the temperature of your dish and really ruins it, because then your pan has to work twice as hard to get back to the temperature where it was at, and it really doesn't help because then it overcooks your food. See, did you know that? Always learning. So I'm gonna give it a gentle stir. Be very careful when you stir this because there could be puddles of steam in there. Tim is like, I don't have a life. Of course you have a life. You're hanging out with us. What better life do you want than that? Come on, Tim. This is a place where all the flavor lovers like to hang out. That's not a bad thing, right? So give it a gentle stir, and you want to work fast because you do not want any lumps in this. This is also a great time to add all your seasonings. I'm going to turn down the heat so I can talk and it doesn't lumpify on me, if that's a word even. Okay, so I am using my Coastal Coconut Curry blend from the Queen's Curry Kitchen collection. And if you don't have this, you can just use any kind of sambar powder. But this actually also has curry leaves that have been dried and roasted and put in it. So it's really one spice does it all type of deal. You can add some peppercorns to this for great flavor. In goes some salt. We did not add any salt to the vegetables. So you don't want to over salt this, but yes, it does need some salt. And then you're going to give it a gentle stir to make sure all the salt is well incorporated. Just make sure it's not lumpy. Like you can see, it tends to lump in the middle and all the water is floating to the sides. So just scrape around the sides and combine it really nicely. Be very careful when you stir anything that is coming together or thickening up. Do not do it in one direction and switch it in the other, because then those steam pockets will explode and there is a likelihood that they will burn you. So always go in from the side. Keep your flame really low while you're trying to stir something. I wear my glasses because I just can't see, but just be mindful. Sometimes it can just come and splash your face. So be very careful. Okay, I'm just going to do a quick check for seasoning to make sure that it's salty enough. You can also add some lemon juice at this stage. I like to add it all the way in the end, and I don't really add the juice. What I add is lemon oil, and I'll show you that in just a second. Okay, I'm just going to quickly check for, see like how it becomes nice and creamy. You can almost see it's creamy, and you can see all the semolina. Oh, perfectly salted. Nupur, you're such a genius. Yeah, well, nobody was saying it, so I had to say it. I'm making a savory cream of wheat, which is called Upma with vegetables. This is totally plant-based. And it's almost like a farina, but it's not sweet. I'm going to say a quick hello to Shailesh Sunil. I hope you are going to give this a try, Shailesh. Maybe you're a foodie. Maybe you're a food lover. Maybe you are the one in charge of feeding everybody in your family. I don't know. Give it a try. All right, so as it comes together and thickens like this, like a porridge, we are going to quickly cover this. It doesn't need to be stirred anymore. I have ensured that there are no lumps. Having a silicone spatula really helps because nothing sticks to your spatula. You see how these little steam pockets are exploding? That's what I was talking about, okay? So this is the time to get the hell away from it. I'm gonna turn down my stove to the lowest setting, and I'm going to step away from it. This is going to need about 2 to 3 minutes. And within that time, this is going to be done. Okay, so right after this, I will be making I will do a live roti making video because a lot of you have asked for it. Oh, you missed the proportion. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Thank you, Aditi. Thanks for the reminder. So the proportion of semolina to water for an upma dish, I took 1 part of this and I've taken 4 parts of water. So for every 1 measure of semolina, there has to be 4 parts of water. If you order the premixes from my website, the instructions will already be there. So 1 pack and whatever, 2 parts of water. So 4 parts, I mean. So whatever portion that you're using to measure the semolina, take 4 times that of water. And then calibrate the salt. Do not over salt your dish. You can add salt, but you can never take it back, right? So that's something to be mindful of. This is now at the lowest setting, and this actually thickens and becomes almost cake-like as it sets. It's not sludgy like oatmeal, but it does tend to kind of become cakey. So it almost becomes like you can cut it through. So you really don't want to overcook it. The semolina actually cooks by soaking up the steam and absorbing the moisture. So that's why we put 4 parts of water, so that there is enough moisture for it to soak up and fluff up, and all the salt then goes into the grain. So when you eat it, it's super salty and it's just, you know, perfectly seasoned. Like I said, you can add some peppercorns to it. I like to use only my coastal curry blend. If you want to order it, it's on my website on the online shop, queenscurrykitchen.com/shop. Okay, so I'm just keeping an eye on it, and it really needs a couple of minutes, not any more than that. So I'm gonna try to bring you really close so you can see what is going on. Just a little 101. You see all of this stuff? This is moisture. So you may or may not see it depending on how tight fitting your lid is. And then when you scrape the sides, you'll see that it's starting to stick to the bottom, which is not what we want. You don't want to waste your semolina to be sticking to the bottom of the pan. I'm using a cast iron wok, but if you're using a non-stick pan, clearly this will not happen. But you see how it comes together? That's the consistency that you want. You do not want to overcook it. You do not want to brown it. This is just done. This is it. So you really don't need to do anything else. And for the lemon flavor, what I was going to tell you, so I'm going to turn off the stove because try to find my, oh, okay. And for the lemon flavor, I mean, of course, this is not a sponsored post, but it's just something I do all the time. So I just thought I'd share with you. I use lemon oil, and this is edible oil. So it's from doTERRA. That's the brand that I use. I also use it in my lemonades, in my lemon cookie, in my water during the day. But this is what I use. If you want to use fresh lemon or lime juice, absolutely, you could do that. But this has a very intense flavor. So this totally works for me. I'm going to take it out of the pot, and once I pack it into portions, I will add 2 drops of this lemon juice. Also, when you warm it up or reheat it, it doesn't taste bitter. Sometimes lemon juice can turn bitter when you reheat something. So this is what I use for the lemon flavor, but you can use lemon zest, you can use lime zest, you can use lemon juice. You can also use some tamarind water. Some people like that tartness in it. I just prefer to stick with lemon. I'm not a fan of tamarind. So yeah, that's what I do. So I hope that you're going to give this a try. If this brought a smile to your lips or gave you an idea for breakfast for tomorrow morning, definitely do it. It's a very easy breakfast idea, and it's great for someone that doesn't have a sweet tooth, so you can literally steer away from. The oil that I've used is light olive oil, but you can very successfully make this with coconut oil or ghee, and it tastes absolutely fantastic. Also, the salt that I use is Himalayan pink salt, but you can use any salt of your liking. Those are the only 2 things that are going to be variations. Once I box them, I'm going to top them with the roasted peanuts that I had before, and I will add lots of cilantro to the dish. So these are the peanuts that I had actually pan fried before we started the demo. So this is what I'm going to use. It gives a really nice crunch, and it's a great breakfast dish, a great brunch dish. It's a great evening snack, pick-me-up kind of thing between 4 and 6 when you're kind of hungry but not kind of hungry but not know what to eat. So eat a little portion of this and drink your cup of chai or coffee, and it tides you over for a little bit. Okay, so with that, I'm going to say goodbye. I do have these that I've saved, so I'm going to garnish it with this. I will put pictures of everything after it's plated and served so that you will be able to see what it looks like. But for right now, I have to get going. I will be back shortly with the roti making video, because I realized that I've done several roti making videos, right from kneading the dough to actually making the rotis. I've done a lot of those videos on Instagram, but I never have really done a roti making video on Facebook. And a lot of you are new to Indian cooking, or you're just trying to explore flatbreads, and sometimes you've been cooking Indian food for a long time, but roti is the one thing that you're struggling with. So I will teach you that with all the tips and tricks. But let me just clean up the space. I'll be back with another video. So I will catch you soon. Until then, be blissful and flavorful. And don't forget to wash your hands. Do not talk to strangers in dark places. If you live in New York, we are going to start classes in person in this kitchen, so you could really be cooking alongside me. And if you want more information on that, definitely leave a DM. I will see you very soon in the next video. Namaste, have a blissful weekend, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.